Hi, I'm Perry Black right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV, and don't turn the channel. If you're interested in knowing more about school choice and how your child can have the opportunities that perhaps they've missed with school choice, Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin is our guest, and he's on fire for school choice. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm Perry Black, and on this program, we have a very special guest, Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin.
Glad to be here out west at the ranch.
Ain't nothing like
I'm
the old
waiting on the
West.
tumbleweeds to just woo.
You know, when we were applying for our licensure with DCFS, and Mrs. Treasure went out there and saw it for the very first time, she said, at any moment, I thought Matt Dillon was going to walk out in the street and have a gunfight.
I love it.
I watch Matt Dillon every night.
This is such a comfortable setting.
Well, the idea is to visit us right here at the ranch and get to know our guests, our supporters, and how individuals that watch this show, and this happens to be a very popular show on Thursday night throughout the Victory Television Network audience. So it includes some of Missouri, some of Tennessee, some of Oklahoma, some of Louisiana. And we have a tremendous audience who believe in making a difference in foster care, fostering, mentoring, and adopting.
Yep.
Now, Lieutenant Governor, there's a couple of things as we get started. Number one, I see you have your airborne pin.
Yes, this is the 101st Airborne Division out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and that's who I serve with in Iraq.
And you do serve currently in the military.
So I'm a commander at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, of a unit there.
Which is the home base for 101st, is that right?
The home base of the 82nd Airborne
82nd.
Division. The 101st is at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is right on the Tennessee, Clarksville, Tennessee, Hopkinsville, Kentucky border. And the 82nd Airborne Division and half of the Army is at Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg is 50,000 people. It's the world's largest military base. So I go there pre-COVID and I'm starting to get back to it about once a month. I will be there 4 days this month, and I love it. So I've been in the Army for going on 25 years. I'm sort of calculating in my mind. And I think I have to get out when I hit 30. So I've got about 5 years
when
left.
you're 30 years old or 30 years of service?
When I'm 30 years old.
Let me ask you a little bit, where did you grow up?
So I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I moved to Magnolia when I was 12. So I like to say that I really grew up in Magnolia a lot of my formative years, although 1 to 12 was not unimportant.
Graduated
obviously.
Magnolia High School then?
Magnolia High School. My dad's side of the family was from North and South Carolina. My dad went to Furman. Grandfather went to Furman. And my mom's side was from Magnolia, El Dorado, that area. Yeah. And we used to come out here a lot. My dad's a pastor. My dad, my granddad, my great-granddad, my
Is your dad still pastoring now?
Well, he's 85, so he...
Does he still preach though and fill in?
What he does is write books, and he has what's called a mercy ministry, where he calls and shares with people who are hurting. He's written several books that are on Amazon. I had a guy in Little Rock text me this about 4 days ago and say, your dad's book really helped me through some tough times.
That's cool.
And my dad has now had his books translated into Swahili.
Wow.
And Africa for African audience, and Spanish for Mexican audience. And so he's 85, but his mind is crisp and sharp, and he's an amazing person. I've never met anybody who's a bigger servant for Christ. He used to be really close friends with Melvin Graham, Billy Graham's brother. Yeah. And swam up at Billy Graham's house, and he just knew a lot of those folks from that North Carolina world, and anyway, so just a big influence. And my mom's 81.
Was he pastoring in Magnolia when you grew up?
Yes.
Is that how you came to Magnolia?
Yeah, that's right. Manual Baptist in Magnolia, and so yeah, so that's when we moved. 1980 is
And
when
so
we
where
moved
did you go to
Arkansas.
college there
So
nearby?
I went to Hendrix College and in Conway.
But now Hendrix is
Methodist.
Methodist.
Yeah, I didn't go because
I
of
lived
the
at the
church.
Methodist home, so I know all
Yeah.
about Hendrix.
Yeah, I didn't go because of the church affiliation. I went because it was really, I had done well, thank the Lord, academically and in high school. And it had a reputation as being rigorous
top schools,
and great school academically.
What did you major in?
Economics and business.
Minor?
Well, we had it because it's a liberal arts school. They didn't do the traditional major and minor. My degree was called a Bachelor of Arts because they all are at Hendrix. Even a math major at Hendrix is a Bachelor of Arts because you take a lot of liberal arts, a lot of the Western European tradition and civilizational. So I got my degree was business and economics with an emphasis in economics. Then I went to graduate school overseas in Europe, and then I came back and went to law school at Tulane in New Orleans, and absolutely loved Tulane. Wonderful experience. And then I got my master's in the War College, as the Army paid for that to get my master's.
So were you married yet at Tulane?
Well, no. I got married late in life. The Lord was saving the best for me. I got married when I was 36, and I had really leaned into my career, joined the Army, worked in D.C., worked in Congress. So Shannon Bozeman, the daughter of Senator Bozeman, who was then Congressman Bozeman, worked with me. They're from Arkansas, obviously, but worked with me at the Republican National Committee. And she said one day, hey, you grew up in Magnolia. I've got a friend from Camden coming up for the weekend. We were sorority sisters at the University of Arkansas. She lives in Hot Springs. I really want you to meet her. And I said, great. So we all got together, and I never dated anybody after that, really. Yeah.
Y'all been married how long now?
Been married since, we've been married 16 years, and we've got my only marriage. The Lord was right in leading me to wait, because I needed to, I think a lot of people would be served if they grew up a little bit.
Wouldn't it help?
Because sometimes who you are at 20 is not who you are at 30.
Yeah, for sure.
So at least in my case, and not for everybody, but in my case, I needed to grow up and focus on my career, and went to Europe several times for the Army and did a lot of stuff before I ever met my wife. So we've got 3 young children, 3-year-old, believe it or not, 11-year-old, and a 13-year-old.
Wow.
And so we are blessed. I got the best wife, and she's amazing, and our kids are awesome, and they're healthy, thank the Lord, and got a lot to be thankful for them.
We're going to take a brief break, and I want to find out, where do the kids go to school? Why are you such an advocate, the #1 advocate in Arkansas for school choice? How you migrated into politics, and how important it is that we have people like you and other legislators who are advocates for kids in care and the unfortunate or less fortunate. So we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back. Our special guest on this program, if you're just tuning in, is Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin.
Thanks for
Tim, we are excited. I just called you Tim, even though you're Lieutenant
Call me
Governor.
whatever you want.
It's real casual out here at the ranch.
Every time I'm at the ranch, that's why.
I should.
Look, got my
I love the
seal of
boots.
the state of Arkansas. Can you see that?
You got your seal boots on. I joined the Army in right out of high school.
Cool.
And
Good for you.
when I started looking at some of your history before you came and spoke to our men's ministry, I saw that you were a colonel, which means you've been in a long time. And we want to thank you for your service. We're living in a generation where cops are being attacked and defunded, and politicians are being attacked. The country's being divided. But you know what? This show is about helping hurting children and hurting families. So you're a married man. You've got 3 children. Your oldest 13. Your youngest is 3. How did you get involved? We know your story a little bit about the military, and as a lawyer, how did you make the move into the political arena? Because you know, everybody talks about politics is corrupt. And I always say, listen, if good people stay out of the political arena, if there's corruption, it's going to get worse. So,
Yeah, look, I think that there's a lot of hyperbole used about politics. I can just tell you firsthand, because I've been in it as an elected person, as an unelected staff person, on presidential campaigns. You know, I don't know what the exact number is, but 90% or whatever of the people that I've worked with in politics, yeah, they love politics, but they're just hardworking folks. You know, the folks I work with in Congress, you can say what you want about members of Congress, but they work their tails off. They get up early, they go to bed late, they fly around all the time.
Sleep in their office.
They sleep in their office, they get ready in the gym. They go home on the weekend and everybody demands their time. The idea that they're all a bunch of bad people, that's just nonsense. Look, if you hired 100 plumbers or 100 architects or 100 pastors or whatever, there's going to be a percentage of them
going to be a bad apple.
that get off track. And it's the same with, I mean, it's no different really. And look, politics is the art of getting things done. And so, of course, if you have a view that this is the only acceptable way, you're going to be disappointed, because a congressman represents, a lot of people don't know this, one congressman represents 750,000 people.
Going to be some different opinions.
I mean, it's almost an impossible task. So, you know, you're not going to make hardly anybody happy most of the time. So, anyway, that's the way, that's not new.
Do you consider yourself a constitutional conservative?
Absolutely. I mean, look, anybody who believes in the Constitution should have no problem calling themselves a constitutional conservative. What else would you be? A monarchy conservative? I mean, you know, which they have in Britain.
Yeah.
They have in Britain. They have, you know, the monarchist or whatever. But look, if you're sworn in under our Constitution, believe in our Constitution, you should have no problem with the word Constitution in your description.
Or a conservative. Now
I'm a conservative.
You're
no
a preacher's
question.
kid. You're an adult, obviously, now. So did faith early on develop who you are, and what role do those values play in your life, especially as someone who is such a strong advocate for school choice?
Yeah, look, your faith is inseparable.
Yeah.
And anybody who says that you can separate it from your decisions, they're kidding themselves. We all have our belief system and our perspective that we bring. And if you're a person of faith, that's a big part of who you are.
Sure it is.
I don't try to separate it. I lean on it. And it's who I am. And there are, throughout our history, great leaders who are people of faith, some that were, some that weren't. And, that's who you are. That's the package you elect.
Yeah.
You don't separate that. Look, I think my interest in politics goes way back to my interest in history and government. I remember in the 70s, a lot of the trips that my parents took me on were very historical in nature. Yeah, we'd go to the beach and mountains and stuff like that, but we did a lot of touring of Williamsburg and Jamestown and battlefields and things like that. And I just had a love for history growing up. I think a lot of it I attribute to my parents and books and their love for reading and history, but also to teachers. But let me say something about school choice for a second, because, look, to me, I exercise school choice every day.
Don't you? Yeah.
I have a daughter in private school. I have a son in public school. So I graduated from public school, Magnolia. My wife graduated from Camden. So every day that I get up, I exercise school choice. I send one of my kids to Little Rock Public School that's right down the street from me. I send the other one to a private school. So I just want everybody to exercise school choice. And it's based on the fundamental belief that parents, not the government, know best and should make the decisions about where and how their kids are educated. You could say, well, they don't always make the best decision. Well, okay, but they're accountable before God.
There you go.
For their children.
Yeah.
Not the government isn't. So, as a matter of principle, I think parents ought to have that choice. The other thing I would tell you is competition is good for schools. Mm-hmm. If a public school knows that no matter how good a traditional public school knows, no matter how good they do, how well they do, how poorly they do, that they're never going to go out of business. There's not a lot of incentive to get better. You could say, well, they'll do it for the kids. Will they?
Will they?
There are a lot of examples, I've seen it in government, of people who claim to be putting kids first, who put their own paycheck, their own job, their own funding numbers, all of that before children. Now, whether they're meaning to do it or not, okay, we can debate that. But the fact is they routinely do it. And I think competition leads to innovation, and innovation leads to excellence. And that is a benefit of choice. I can tell you one of the best things that happened to education in Central Arkansas, particularly in Little Rock, over the last decade or two, are the number of charter schools. Yeah. Now, they are public schools, but not traditional public schools. They're charter schools. And we've seen them flourish. Here's the beauty of a charter school. If they do well, they can continue to be approved. If they fail, they go away.
Isn't that a novel idea?
That's a novel idea. But I believe in choice beyond that. I believe that we ought to look at the states that are 20 years ahead of us in choice, and we ought to be giving tax credits, and we ought to be giving money that parents are paying in anyway, and let them use that how they want to use that. Look at all the number. You got private schools. You also got the biggest school district in the state by number are people in homeschools. Mm. That ought to tell you something. And so, look, I think the only people who have reason to be scared of school choice are the people who aren't getting it done.
There you go.
If you don't get it done, you should go away. If you can't educate children, then you need to find another occupation. And I'm talking about administrators. I'm talking about whatever. We've got incredible teachers out there, and a lot of them would love to have the freedom to innovate and do a lot of the things that the bureaucracy, the education bureaucracy, and it is a bureaucracy, that it won't let them do.
Yeah.
My son's public school teachers are fabulous. And the fact that I send my son to a public school is evidence that some public schools can compete.
Yeah.
But I have a choice, and everybody ought to have a choice.
And everybody ought to have a choice.
Regardless of their financial situation. One of the best things that's happened to a lot of the lower income kids is the fact that they've been able to get out of a failing school and go to an alternative.
We want to take a brief break, and I want to come back to that. Some of these kids that are trapped in failing schools, what can our viewers do? Because we are a strong advocate for underprivileged children, children in foster care, and how this show can inform people on how they can make a difference and help children get an education in the state of Arkansas. So we're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Perry Black, right here at Arkansas Christian Academy, and I want to strongly encourage you to visit our website or call us and take a tour of ACA. You know, over the past 4 years, our graduating seniors have received over $1.3 million in college scholarships. We're a fully accredited, faith-based Christian school, and in this environment in our world, you need to strongly consider Arkansas Christian Academy. Take a tour, make a phone call, visit our website. We'd love to visit you right here at ACA. God bless. Hey, welcome back. Our goal on this show is to inform you on how you can make a difference in the hearts and lives of hurting children. And school choice is so important. When I met with Warren Stevens many years ago about Second Chance Youth Ranch, he said, "Do you teach children how to read?" He said, "If you can't read, you can't succeed." On this set today, on this program, our Lieutenant Governor, Tim Griffin, is the #1 advocate for school choice, and that's why he's on the show. Because as the founder of Second Chance Youth Ranch, we have seen the powerful impact a choice of a private school education for our foster children, the tremendous impact it's made in their lives. So Lieutenant Governor, can you tell us kind of a little bit about how our viewers, and many of our viewers are from the inner city.
Sure.
How important is it for them to be involved in, and what can they do to be an advocate for school choice for their children?
It's critically important that everybody be engaged in the political process, whether you like it or not. Yeah. I describe it as like brushing your teeth. You don't have to like it, but you need to do it.
Yeah.
And here's what I'd tell you. Ask the hard questions on school choice of everybody running for office. Ask them, do you support it? And if they and make sure you get specific. How do you support it? What do you mean you support it? Make sure they support it or don't vote for them. Make it a key part of your voting calculation of who you support and who you don't. Because if you support people who don't support school choice, you're not going to get school choice. I've been very disappointed over the last 6 years since I've been Lieutenant Governor. The number of opportunities that we've had to really pursue school choice and have failed time and time again. And make no mistake about it, it's because some people give lip service to supporting it, but when it's time to support it in the legislature, they don't do it. Other people just openly don't support it. Let me tell you, it's coming, and it's coming big, because people want choice, and they will eventually get it. We've got it in limited ways. We got the Succeed Scholarship, which is good, but now they limit funding, right?
Yeah.
We have public school choice, but there are some good bills on school choice that have made it finally through the legislature. They'll be becoming law, but we've still got a long way to go to get the choice. But you've got to support candidates who understand that parents need to be making these decisions. Now, let me just touch on something else, and that is illiteracy. School choice is part of making sure people can read. If you are illiterate and cannot read, you're more likely to end up in prison, you're more likely to end up unemployed, you're more likely to end up abusing substances, you're more likely to have unstable family life. We have got to make sure as a fundamental principle that young people read. How can we do that? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. One of them is just having a policy that says we're not going to promote kids willy-nilly, if you will, whether they can read or not. There are a lot of states that say, look, by 3rd grade or 4th grade, you've got to be reading on grade level, or we're not going to continue to promote you. What we're going to do is focus on you and provide you the resources and make sure you can read and then promote you. Focus on you like it's a trauma emergency.
Yeah.
But we don't have that law, so kids can just keep getting moved down by societal pressure and parental pressure. Well, I don't want my kid to stay back. Oh, okay. Well, do you want them graduating from high school and not being able to read on grade level or not be able to read at all? Well, that's what's happening. If you look at the percentage of our kids in this state in schools who are reading at grade level, it's horrible. We've got some schools where only 40, 50% read on grade level.
Yeah, that's sad.
If we could have a law like Florida's and other states have this that says, look, we're not going to promote kids willy-nilly just because it makes us feel good. You may feel good, but you are destroying that child's life by not giving them the attention and the resources they need to get to reading on the right level.
So it's really got to be about education and not money.
It's public policy, right? Money is not unimportant, but if money is what solved this problem, we'd be near number one, if not number one in the world, because many countries spend a lot less per student than we do, and they clean our clock on the quality side. So we got to get with the program. Smarter, not harder.
And school choice is giving the parents the right to choose between public, private, charter,
homeschool,
parochial,
you name it.
homeschool.
You name it. I just want to mention my wife's on the statewide board of the CALL, which plays a very important role
in
foster and adoption.
Yeah.
And faith-based, they believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and that's a big part of their mission. And God bless them. Another good organization.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for serving Arkansas. Thank you for serving with the CALL, you and your wife and the other organizations, because every child is important to God and must be important to us. We must see changes made in the educational process for children that are not given the opportunity that other children can afford. So I want to thank you for watching this show. Please get involved in the process. Our children at Second Chance Youth Ranch need a second chance. With your help and support, we can change how things are done right here in our state and see lives changed forever through the love of Jesus Christ. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. God bless.
God bless you.